Liverpool versus everybody. I'm here with RB. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You?
Yeah, not bad. We're gonna here to talk about the weekend's games. Obviously, Liverpool, another win away at Bournemouth. Just starting straight, another win. I mean, 46 out of 48 points. What did you make of the team's performance on Saturday?
I thought it was a really controlled, professional performance.
Mm,
We we went through like phases. The first half was really good. Some of the passing, I thought it was just professional.
yeah, I mean that's the thing it was more of a controlled game. We didn't have too many problems defensively. Even with Lovren's sort of injury in the first half, Bournemouth never really tested us. It was more of us just controlling it. We created a few chances, switch the team up. Got a few more changes in there. We're using the squad a bit more. Obviously, you have to now with that December period. Um, what do you think of? First of all, I'm gonna start things straight off. Keita. I know you're a big fan of Keita. So, what did you think of Keita's performance? His
Well,
third appearance in the league. So, and he got a goal. So, a goal and assist. So, what do you think of him?
I thought he was man of the match. I thought he was brilliant. Goal, assist. I think he's got to start against Salzburg.
Yeah, will you start? Do you think he'll start against Salzburg? Or do you think it'll be Milner, Hendo, and Genie?
I think Milner's played 2 games in a row now, so I think Klopp could start Keita.
Mm. I mean, well, we spoke about this yesterday. I think with Klopp, you just never know with that midfield trio, isn't it? I mean, if Fabinho was fit, I think it'd definitely be Fabinho, Henderson, Ronaldo for that game because in a away game, you need a point. I think you'd obviously go for that midfield three. But with Ronaldo not playing against Bournemouth, I think obviously he'll play in that. I think Henderson will play in the DM position. Now it's the question who's going to play. Is it going to be Keita, Chamberlain? And as you said, with Milner playing 2 games, I'm not too sure. So for you, would you go for the Keita in that game, get some more momentum?
I think you've just got to keep playing him. He needs game time.
Mm,
He's not played in a while. He had a great game. It's between Keita or Ox, isn't it? Like
mm.
it's one
It
or the other.
is between them. And talking about a bit on Bournemouth again, first clean sheet in 13 games. I mean, that's just it's surprising to see that we haven't kept a clean sheet for that long. Moving forward now, I mean, with Lovren, he looks like he's okay, but with Matip obviously out as well, are you happy with the situation that we have in defence? I mean, look, Matip's out. We know he's injury prone. He does pick up a lot of injuries. Lovren does pick up the odd niggle here and there. I mean, if Lovren was out for maybe the Salzburg game, do you think you're comfortable with Joe Gomez in defence, or how are you feeling about that situation in defence? Because we're coming into a busy period with a lot of games now. So would you have any worries about that?
I think Van Dijk and Gomez are our best centre back partnership. When you look at last season, what they did together,
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure we had the best defensive record in the league. I
Yeah,
think Lovren's he's playing well right now, but you just know there's a mistake in him. I think we need to carry on, keep playing Gomez. I think he needs a run of games. Him and Van Dijk together.
he was good yesterday. What did you think he was good yesterday at right back?
I don't think right back's his position. I think he's just too flat there. I think centre back, he looked much better when he's at centre back.
Hmm. Yeah, he does. Of course, that's his natural position, isn't it? And that's the way he likes to play because you've got the thing with Gomez. I like he's got the pace, the physicality. He's got that. If we're in trouble, as I said, he's got the pace to get us out of jail. I think Van Dijk and him formed a brilliant partnership together until obviously he got injured. And this, Van Dijk's the only one that's always there every single game. And it's in periods, isn't it? Matip, Lovren, Gomez, they all had their little periods. Gomez started off the season last year. Then Lovren came into it. The Matip finished it off, and again, it's this year's Matip starting um, the season. Lovren sort of inside the middle of it, and Gomez maybe could be if he plays well now, if he takes his chance, he needs a run of games to get into it because he hasn't really had his chance at centre back this season. It's more been coming off the bench for a few minutes here and there. So we have to wait and see that. But Leicester obviously won today. What are your thoughts on the title race at the minute? With 14 clear of City, 8 clear of Leicester. Is that looking good for you, or any worried about Leicester? Worried about City? How you looking at it?
Listen, I don't want to underestimate Leicester. We all know what they're capable of. The football they're playing right now. Brendan Rodgers got them playing. Their defence, they've got the best defence in the league. Jamie Vardy, top goal scorer in the league. That game on the 26th is huge. It
They
is huge.
they got City before that, haven't they as well?
Yeah, they've got City before that, and I'm wondering, what do I want in that game? I'm thinking probably a draw.
I mean, who would have thought that? You know, at the start of the season, wanting City to do us a favour in the title race.
I'm not Brendan Rodgers' biggest fan, but he's doing a brilliant job right now, and
Mm.
I think Leicester could win at the Etihad. They're counter-attacking football.
Yeah,
I think Man City will struggle because we saw yesterday City struggling massively with United's pace on the break. I think Leicester could do the same.
possibly. I mean, yeah, you can definitely see it because I think Leicester are a better team than United as well. You know, at the minute they're a much better team. So, and you look at it, you think with the pace of Vardy, the midfield they have, it's definitely possible for them to go there and win. I don't know if they will though. I mean, it depends on how City turn up. Maybe Aguero's back for that game. You know, it all depends on how they do. I think I'm probably thinking a draw for that match, or maybe a City win. I just can't see Leicester winning there personally. It's possible, but if I'm gonna put money on it, I'm probably gonna put money on the draw there. Then they obviously got Liverpool after that. I mean, do you think they're going to fall off? Because I think they're doing well at the minute, but I think they were level on points with Chelsea a few weeks ago. Do you think they can just go a couple losses and that's it? Do you know what I mean? Do you think they're going to still sort of roll like Chelsea on? You know, they were looking good. Chelsea talking about them about title contenders.
Yeah.
3 losses in the last 4. Do you think it's going to be a similar situation, or do you think they're just with that one game a week, no European football? Do you think they can just keep it up?
Not having European football is a huge factor. Like you get an advantage over your competitors. It's just like, I think we've got a game in hand. Obviously, I mean, Leicester will have a game in hand over us because the Club World Cup. So West Ham's been postponed.
Hmm.
So the table is going to look like it's going to be very deceiving.
Yeah, it will be.
It will be because we'll be one game behind everyone. We don't know when that West Ham game's going to be. So if Leicester beat Man City and then Leicester beat us, they could be 2 points behind us. But
Mm.
obviously with us having a game in hand.
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's true because we got West Ham. We were supposed to play the West Ham game, weren't we? So, I mean, look, if Leicester go and beat City at the Etihad, um,
Fair play to them if
yeah,
they do.
then yeah, obviously you have to look at them and think, they are the team. But as I said, I think they'll be Norwich next week. I think they'll make it 9 wins in a row. But this is the test. I mean, City away, because if you look at Leicester, they beat Arsenal at home, brilliant. They beat Spurs at home, brilliant. But when they've gone away from home, they've lost against Liverpool, they've lost against United. You know, this is
Yeah.
enough for them. If they go and win at Etihad, even a point, I don't think a point's enough for them. I mean, it depends what you're talking about with Leicester. If you're talking about a point, I think a point's a brilliant result for Leicester. If you're talking about them getting top 4, if they're talking about them getting the title,
They have
then
to win then. Yeah,
yeah.
they have to win.
But this, I mean, I personally think the title race is done. I don't think Leicester can keep it up. They're playing some great football, but I think a couple of defeats here and there, because I do think we'll beat them at the King Power. So I'm not too worried about them. City now. Are you any worries about City, or do you think they're just going to keep on plummeting down the table, and the gap's going to get bigger?
I think we know that Man City, what they did last season, we expected them to drop points and they won, like, I think it was the last 13, last 14 games.
Mm.
They were just brilliant from the February period to all the way until the end of the season. They won every single game. So you can't like underestimate them and what they can do.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, the thing with City is, I think yesterday they just looked so shaky, didn't they? I mean, United could have scored 3 or 4 yesterday, especially in that first half. Obviously, Liverpool was a big miss, but they shouldn't have. Even so, the company left them.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Guardiola,
man.
it's Guardiola's mistake for not replacing them. You can't blame anyone but himself because he's the one that let company go without getting a replacement in. So they're gonna have to sit there with Stones, Otamendi, and Fernandinho as the defenders at the time being. They're gonna keep on dropping points because you look at the next 3 games: Arsenal away. I mean, Arsenal are useless anyway, but they got Arsenal away, then they got Leicester at home and Wolves away. So that's their next 3 again. So they're not going to get easier for City. This tough run of fixtures are going to keep on going. So, and with us now, we've got the Salzburg game. Obviously, we're going to have to go full strength there. Then we've got Watford at home after that. For the Club World Cup, obviously we're looking to go strong there. Are you obviously, I'm just going to ask you the question, but are you bothered about it? Are you focused more about just the Premier League at the minute, or are you in a sort of mindset, let's just go and win it all?
My mindset's just always win it all. I don't want to be in the Europa League. It's just you don't want to be part of the Europa League. You're a huge club. You need to be in the Champions League. Even if you don't win it, you have to be in quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals all the time. And I think that's where we're at.
Yeah. worried about that game on Tuesday, or do you think now we're just gonna beat Salzburg? I mean, would you take right now? Obviously, we're top of the group. If we win, we top the group. If we get a draw, we finish second. That's actually providing Napoli beat Genk, which they might. Even though Napoli haven't won a game in about 8 games, but they probably will beat Genk. If we lose, obviously we're out because unless we lose like 5-4 or something stupid like that because of the first leg. If someone said to you right now, here's a point, you finish second, would you take it or would you gamble to go to finish first in the group?
I'd take a point because I don't think it really matters. You're going to play the big teams eventually, whether you finish second, whether you finish first. You're going to have to play the best teams if you want to get to the final, if you want to win the Champions League.
I mean, yeah. Nowadays is like we finished second last year, didn't we? So we won the Champions League.
Yeah.
We ended up playing Bayern Munich, which sometimes finishing second actually favors you because sometimes the team, sometimes some bigger teams finish second and sort of the weaker teams finish first. You know what I mean? It's not a big difference, but it is maybe. Also, I think what it is that if you finish first, I think your second leg is at home. So you get the first leg away from home and then take it back to Anfield, just like the Barcelona game. So I think that's something that favours you. I think we'll beat Salzburg anyway, but give me your team for that one. Your starting 11 prediction for the Salzburg game.
It's going to be Alisson in goal. As for the defence,
what you want?
I just think like both the fullbacks will play without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Is Van Dijk's obviously going to play? It's Lovren or Gomez, but I'd honestly play Gomez. I prefer Gomez. As for the midfield, I'd put Gini in the 6, Keita and Henderson playing the midfield roles, and just the normal front three, bringing back Mane.
Okay, yeah, all right. So obviously Keita the only change for you. Well, Keita the only sort of surprise instead of Milner, really, isn't it? That's what you thought going. And Wijnaldum back in and. Alexander. I mean, you saw the team sheet against Everton and Bournemouth. You can see that Klopp is sort of just gearing up for this Salzburg game, even though it's disappointing because we should have had that group wrapped up against Napoli and we would have been able to rest for this game and then focus on the next games. But it is disappointing. I wanted to ask you a bit about, obviously, forget about the sort of games that we have coming up. What do you think in January? Do you think any business do you think we'd like to see in January? I mean, the club did say that we might sign anyone if it's the right player. What are your thoughts in January? Would you like to see any positions strengthened? If so, which sort of players are you looking at? Which players catch your eye? And give me some of your thoughts on players that we might be able to sign.
I think Timo Werner's the one, isn't he? I think 30 million. That's the release clause that they're talking about. Ryan Brewster, he's a player that I love. I love Ryan Brewster. I think he's really talented. I think he could go out on loan, and I think Timo Werner for 30 million. Would be a really good signing for me.
Would you send Brewster out on loan? Obviously just for the 6 months, but would you send him out for next season as well? Because personally, I mean, I was looking at this season, I'm thinking, Brewster's gonna get a bit of game time, but he's third choice striker at the minute, isn't he? He's third choice striker, and he's not getting on the bench. He's not even getting on the bench. It's not as if we can offer him sort of this Europa League football like Greenwood's getting at United, or coming off the bench like Origi does, because Greenwood's second choice striker at United because of Lukaku left. So. For me, I think it's just a waste with him staying around here. I think he needs to go out on loan and then come back a different player because I think there's definitely a player there. And obviously that injury has for a year and a half or so. That's really delayed his progress as a player, especially at a young age. So, what sort of clubs would you send him to? Would you obviously Bundesliga? A few clubs in the Bundesliga want him. The Championship want him as well. So, what would you want to send to the Bundesliga, or the Championship?
I think mid-table Championship where he would get game time week in, week out. I think that's what he needs. I think he needs toughening up. He's a bit flimsy on the ball right now.
Yeah, you can see that against MK Dons against Arsenal both those games. He just needs a bit more, maybe hitting the gym more.
It's as simple as that, mate.
Yeah, and just getting some more game time and experience and get experience, especially in the Championship. I think it's a brilliant league for you to build that up, because in the Premier League, it's really you're gonna be coming up against that same sort of physicality. So, yeah, I mean, you touched on Timo Werner. I mean, he's on fire this season. Do you think like Jadon Sancho, these sort of signings, do you think they could be possible now we've got this Nike deal? Because obviously Nike are saying that they want this sort of big signing to promote Liverpool. That they've got the likes of, I think it's LeBron James, Rihanna, Drake, all these people are going to be promoting the new Liverpool kit. Do you think who do you like to see in the summer? Someone like a Jadon Sancho, or Werner, so, a big signing, or do you think again we just stick with buying a few more younger players for cheaper prices? What do you think will happen in the summer?
I think you got to look at what age the front three are at. Firmino's going to be 29 next year. Mane is 28. I think Salah's 27. They're all at the prime age. I think you want to be building for the future. Jadon Sancho's 19. He's already one of the biggest prospects in Europe right now. I think he'd be perfect. You could play him in a 4-2-3-1. We're going to be playing 60 games every season for me. Jadon Sancho will get game time and he'll want trophies, playing under the best manager in the world. I think Jadon Sancho would be a perfect signing, especially for Nike, for us, for the fans, everyone.
How much would you realistically pay for him? Because Dortmund is saying 130. I mean, in my opinion, I'm not sure about 130. I don't know if he's a brilliant player, but do you think 130? Do you think that's the right value where we can? I think we can possibly get some better players for cheaper value, like Werner, like you said, for 30 million, or some other players. Do you think 130 million is a bit too steep? Can you see us paying that?
I can't see us paying 130 million, but I think Michael Edwards, what he's capable of, Fabinho, all these bargains that he's got. I think he could get Sancho for 90 million maybe. I thought that would be a great deal. If it's over 90 million, then I can't see us paying it.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously, even with the Van Dijk and Alisson deal, we've sold players to buy these players, haven't we? We sold Coutinho to fund obviously these players. I mean, if you look at Fabinho, he cost 40 million. You can just say we sold Ings for 20, and we sold Solanke for 20 to get Fabinho. So with the likes of we sold Mignolet, Emre Can left on the free transfer, so his wages were removed. Clavan, we've sold a lot of players in the past. Jordan I 15. So as I said, we've spent well, we bought well, and we sold well. So I can see it happening. But fullbacks, would you look at getting someone in on the right side, left side? Because obviously Milner, he's out of contract in the summer. Would you give Milner a new contract quickly?
Might be a bit harsh, but I wouldn't give him a new contract. I just think we've got to move on from players like Milner. I think we should bring back Gruic. I think he's talented. I think he needs a chance. He deserves a chance. He's been talking about playing for Liverpool. I think we should give him a chance next season, being a backup to Fabinho possibly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're talking about Gruic, so Milner. Don't you think Milner's sort of versatility can play both sides, left back, right back in midfield? Don't you think that sort of helps us, or for you just moving on from him?
I think if Leeds get promoted, then he'd probably want to go there. I think he spoke about Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
I think we do need a backup fullback because Robertson, Trent, they are so crucial to our team. We need someone else that can replicate their numbers, and I think Keanu Hoover's looking good. Nico Williams is looking good, but we don't really have anyone from the left back. So probably a backup left back. There was talks about Firpo in the summer. He's obviously gone to Barcelona, but I think we've got to look at a backup left back.
Yeah, because Klein's injured now, isn't he? Klein's been injured. I mean, I can't remember. I was checking our squad list before, and I saw Klein there. He's the forgotten man. I forgot that Klein was still at the club. He's out for another 6 months. Well, he's been out for since the start of the summer. We haven't got a proper right back there. Gomez, not a natural right back. You can see that. So he's just sort of there to patch it up. Same with Milner. I'll definitely look at if some of the youngsters aren't ready, I'll definitely look at bringing someone in. Because I think Trent and Robbo, sometimes they play too many games. We rely on them too much, which is it's good to rely on these quality players, but sometimes you do need to just balance out and give them rest because Trent, you don't want to burn out at such a young age playing every single game. So it's going to be important. Anyway, last question before we get off, and we'll obviously have a much better debate hopefully in the weekend with some of the other guys. Do you think? I'll ask you two questions. Premier League, what do you think? Do you think that's done and dusted for you?
Listen, I wouldn't say done and dusted, but we're in a great position right now, and I think surely we can't bottle it. But I think talk to me after the Leicester game, and if we win that game, then if I'm a betting man, then I would bet on us to win the league. Right now,
Invincibles.
Whenever people start talking about Invincibles, that's when you end up losing a game. But
Because Lovren did an interview before the City game, didn't he? And he was the one.
Yeah,
What's
he was the one.
the goal for Aguero?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
33 unbeaten in the minute 16 to go. I mean, it is possible if you look at it.
it is possible. I can only see a few teams beating us. I think City away, when Laporte's back, Sané's back, they could beat us. And Tottenham away, Mourinho possibly, but
I mean, it's any game, isn't it? Because I mean, we were a few minutes away from losing away at Villa. You know what I mean? So it's just this is the Premier League, really. I mean, it's just it's about the game, how it goes in that current stage. You can look at it on paper and say, you know, we're not gonna lose it. I don't think we're gonna lose any games this season. I think we might actually go. I think this could be the year that we go invincible. You know, and that performance against Bournemouth was encouraging to see us getting a clean sheet. Hopefully, get another one against Watford and start building on from there. But yeah, quickly score prediction for Salzburg before we get off.
I think 3-1 to Liverpool. I'll go 3-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1. Anyway, RB, thanks for coming on for the show today. Hopefully we'll get a much more extended one after the Salzburg game, before it, whenever Aaron organizes it. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and do all of that. And I'll see you guys later.
Thank you.